Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this short video, we will talk about one of the simplest ways to instantiate entities within jobs. This is far better than the spawner used in the last dots demonstration video, which used monobehavior version to spawn entities. I realized that this deserves its own share while refactoring the code, and we will be building upon this going forward. I'm using 2020.1 version as I like the dark mode which finally arrived this year. Let's quickly set up Capsule and have it as a prefab. Let's create two scripts, Unit Initializer Component and Unit Initializer System. The Unit Initializer component will contain a reference to an entity and any other relevant variables. Let's spawn our entities in grid-like fashion, so we need grid count. Let's also declare a variable for base offset and two more variables governing space between spawned entities. Let's also add generate authoring component tag so we can populate these variables from the editor. Let's create a game object and attach this script. As you can see, the script is asking for game object which will be converted to entity at runtime. Let's drop our prefab in there and attach the convert to entity script as well. Now in the unit initializer system, we will need something called entity command buffer. We are trying to instantiate entities in jobs, but few operations can be done only on main thread, like instantiating entities, adding and removing component data to entities. This is where command buffer comes into play, where we can record such actions which need to happen on main thread from within our jobs and play these recordings later in a predictable order at a later point in time. This is a much better way to do even while not using jobs, as it will enable us to use burst compiler even on the main thread. There are several sync points made available to us from Unity, and it is recommended that we use one of them instead of creating our own sync point. Here we are going to use begin initialization entity command buffer system. Our parallel jobs will be simultaneously writing to this command buffer, so we need to get the concurrent version. ToConcurrent is deprecated, hence we have to use as parallel writer, which can safely be used in parallel jobs. Now we can use entity command buffer instead of entity manager, and it works inside parallel job. Here we can create new entity, reference a converted prefab, add a new component or data just like we would do with entity manager. Since we want to instantiate a bunch of entities in a grid-like fashion, let's iterate over xgrid and zgrid count. The instantiate call returns an entity which is deferred as it is not created yet. But we can think of it as entity, as Unity will automatically take care of this for us. Let's spawn the converted prefab in the respective position with offset and padding. We can now destroy the prefab entity as we no longer need it. By doing so, we are making sure that this code will run only once and spawn a grid of entities. Now, we want the burst compilation to have occurred even before the first frame. So we need to set an argument in the with burst expression signifying synchronous compilation, as this burst will occur only once. If you are planning to reinstantiate these entities, then you shouldn't be destroying it, and you don't need this with burst tag as well, as burst will be enabled by default. Finally, we need to tell the entity command buffer about this job, which needs to execute before trying to play back all the events. Now, let's place the spawner wherever we want, set up some values and play with it. As seen in the entity debugger, we only have the entity which we spawned and not the converted entity as we destroyed it. Instantiating entities this way is extremely fast and performant, as all instantiation happens at once. I will try and use this similar spawner in the future as well. If you find these videos helpful, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have fun.